I'm Lamitschka, and today I present you Tia McGraff and Tommy Parham. Please introduce yourself to all country fans who might be hearing about you for the first time.
Wow. Well, first of all, I come from Canada. I'm from a small town called Port Dover, Ontario. And I moved to Nashville, I guess, about 9 years ago. I had recorded some albums up in Canada and had released singles and videos to CMT. And then I decided I wanted to move to Nashville to further my songwriting. And so I moved down here and met my now my husband, Tommy, and we met through his publisher. He had a publishing deal at the time. And we met and started co-writing, and then broke our rule of never date a co-writer and got married 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And since then we've been partners in crime, writing, and he produces my albums, and we tour together on the road. Do you want to introduce yourself, Tommy?
I'm Tommy Parham. I come from Colorado originally, and I got to Nashville via a songwriting deal that I signed in Los Angeles, California, and then moved to Nashville in 1998, and been songwriting on Music Row for about 3 years or so professionally, and then T and I started touring together in 2005, and just been hitting world markets with our new stuff, and we've just been having a blast.
And also you have cut with Lee Greenwood, I was telling
My first big cut was Lee Greenwood, yeah. Rocks You Can't Move was my first cut, and I'm really excited about that. And I can walk into stores and see my song on those shelves with everyone else. You know, it's really neat, yeah.
So, who of you likes to answer the question, what do you think about today's country music versus its roots, and where do you see it going in the future?
Oh, very good question. Do you want to answer that?
No, I don't.
Well, today's country music is a little bit different than when we first moved to Nashville, in the fact that when we moved here, singers were basically looking for songs from other writers. Now, the wonderful thing is you have artists who are writing their own, like Taylor Swift, who are writing their own songs. So that is, from a songwriter's point of view, and because I'm a singer-songwriter, I just think that's awesome. However, from the songwriters here in town, it makes it a little more challenging. Those cuts are harder to get because unless you're writing with the artist yourself, it's probably more challenging to get a cut. I really think now in the world of also of the internet and digital downloads that we're all kind of still mucking it out where the whole industry is going to go. The major labels, I believe, are having a harder time than independents. And we're independent artists and songwriters, and I think this is a wonderful time for us because we can create, invent. We just have a video that we did in my hometown of Port Dover. The Board of Trade has put together a video to promote the town. And the photographer called me and asked me for a couple songs for these videos, so I lent him some songs. He put it together. All of a sudden, it's the buzz on Facebook. And we're getting calls. That was someone who just called now saying they've seen the video on Facebook, and so we're generating this whole popularity thing through Facebook, which is really cool.
Tommy, as a songwriter, in your opinion, what is the biggest difference between traditional and new country music?
Wow. New country, I think, to me, has lost its traditional roots because the roots came from a real honest place. And now the industry, the commercial industry now has made it more about the money thing. It's more about the bottom line and the bottom dollar. There is no more artist development like there was back in the day where they spent time developing an artist and creating a career. Now it's either you hit, you know, 1 million plus on your record sales or you're gone. And roots, to me, the root part of country had such an honesty and such a depth in its songwriting, and it came from such a real place. Whereas today, the music, to me, I think is struggling because it's having to fight with a modern industry, and it's not so personal. It's coming from a sterile environment. That's my opinion.
Tia, As an artist, you have to do so many different things, such as recording, touring, doing interviews, etc. What do you like best? What's your favorite activity?
Well, Christian, that's an amazing question. As an independent artist, I wear all kinds of hats. I also do our booking as well. I book our gigs, do all the road trips and everything, and promotion. And I would say for me, it's still writing the song. It's still sitting down and having that opportunity to speak from my heart and share with people something that hopefully they're all feeling but don't know how to put into words. And then getting out on stage and singing those songs live, and the feedback we get from people who, like we have a song, Hope is Everything, that has just touched so many lives around the world, in Australia, England, Canada, all over, and that's what still brings a tear to my eye.
What's unique about each of you that differentiates you from other artists and songwriters?
For me, I believe that it's, first of all, I come from Canada. So in Canada, we learn, because Canada is so vast and so huge, we have to kind of be more independent. We have to be, you're more insulated. So you learn as a songwriter to write both lyrics and melodies. And also because I had records out on the radio and videos out when it wasn't cool to be an independent artist, It also gave me a business sense, and I set up my record label, Bandana Records, then, and released songs to Germany. And so I have that whole background, which we're using right now, which gives us a little leg up, doesn't it, Tommy, than other artists who are struggling, trying to figure out, how do I get out there and promote my music now,
For me, I think the difference, originally my whole music thing started when I was in the teenage years. I was in a really big heavy rock band, and I was doing the rock scene in LA and all that stuff, and my writing for what we do now on the Americana country and folk stuff is, I think I bring a contemporary edge to the roots part of that kind of style of music, and I really love producing records. I get to not only produce Tia, I have a few other artists that I've had the joy of working with, and it's always the same thing. I find the joy in unveiling the colors inside their songs and making them better artists and bringing forth. And that would be my contribution.
What's the best thing about being an artist and songwriter, and what's the hardest thing?
Every day we get up and make music is an awesome day, and that's kind of what we live by. That's what we shoot for, that we get up, and, we get to get up in the morning and share with people around the world. The hardest thing is keep going financially. Every day you're making music, you're also putting money out. You're recording, you're paying musicians, you're promoting, you're paying people, whatever. So the hardest thing is to keep financially going, and just keeping your name out there among all these millions of people that are on the internet right now. You have to keep your name out there. You have to find a way to be different enough that people find you and listen to you.
Yeah.
So, let me say thanks for the interview. It was great to meet you, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you, Christian. We'd love to come to Germany and perform. I know I've had songs played on the radio over there, so we'd love to get over. And all our German fans, thank you. We love you.
Goodbye.